Former Deputy Assistant John Ullyot, who worked inside Trump's National Security Council, among other trusted posts, joins us now to discuss. John, welcome back.
Thank you, Chanel.
Your reaction to Biden's handling of the hostage, telling America the news that he has brought these hostages home?
Well, look, nothing that Biden does in the White House for the last 4 years is actually leadership, because we know that when this cadre cabal of elites pushed him off the ticket against the will of 14 million voters, they did that, and the reason why they did that was they said essentially that he's not compos mentis, and that was shown by the debate. So it's hard to figure out what he's thinking when he makes a statement like that toward President Trump, because he doesn't really even know what time zone he's in, frankly. But anyway, it's just ridiculous what he said, and if he takes a shot at President Trump, when we were supporting President Trump on the National Security Council, he freed over 50 hostages during his term, and some of those were actually very quiet, and that's why the number is above 50. And President Trump did that, to his point, very quietly and negotiating, and from being tough, basically telling the captors that, look, if you don't release these hostages, then there's going to be hell to pay, and so you better do it quietly. None of this big high-profile exchange. And the idea there is that if you do high-profile exchanges like this, then what it does is it emboldens other bad actors around the world, whether it's Russia in this case, whether it's Iran. Iran has a number of hostages there right now, whether it was ISIS before President Trump destroyed ISIS and killed al-Baghdadi. They beheaded hostages and killed over 100,000 people total. And so anyway, what it is, it's this weakness that Biden's showing. Once again, it's not Biden, it's Kamala Harris who's pulling the strings here. She's not just pulling the strings, she was covering for him for 4 years. So if she's his co-pilot and the co-pilot's asleep, or the pilot's asleep, then she's actually steering the plane. She's been doing that for 4 years. And so really it's her weak negotiation here. It has nothing to do with Biden. Biden is just once again rolled out there, but it's Kamala who has the bad policies behind the scenes, and that's why people are going to be reluctant to give Kamala a second term.
Well, honestly, I even doubt that Kamala's in charge. I mean, you look at the National Security Council for Biden's White House, led by Jake Sullivan, and it seems that Sullivan has a lot more say in what is happening on the foreign policy side than Biden or Kamala ever did. Do you agree with that?
I do, Chanel, is that what happens is that the National Security Advisor is an unelected position. The only one who's elected are the president and the vice president, and the president's been non-compos mentis now for 4 years, actually since before the election in 2020. He campaigned in the basement. He didn't have anything. He didn't have any public appearances, and he's been restricted in what he's been doing. That's why people in my position, I used to be spokesman for the NSC, we didn't need to have President Trump hide behind people like me the way Biden does. Biden never speaks extemporaneously on anything, national security or anything else. It's very tightly controlled. And so you remember, Chanel, when you covered the White House, is that President Trump would talk to reporters at least 3 times a day, and it wasn't hiding from reporters at all, and he didn't need to have spokespeople. Right. So even the National Security Advisor didn't go out and talk to the media, because it was President Trump representing exactly what he's doing. And this is a total display of weakness. And to your point, Jake Sullivan is steering this. You could have possibly Tony Blinken doing it. Lloyd Austin, I don't think he's doing anything, because he went AWOL, remember, for close to 7 days. For 6 days, he went off the grid, and nobody was held accountable for that.
Well, he has his own health problems.
Exactly, and then he went off the grid, didn't even tell his own staff, and he wasn't held accountable.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.